I don't like that it says that this test has a close to 100% success rate, and I'm like, this is an online test with like,
yeah, I don't.
That's really not good. You like mental health tests aren't really accurate online.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, hi. I'd probably put a very clickbaity thumbnail and title to this video. I'm like 95% sure I'm autistic, no formal diagnosis.
I am about 80% sure I'm autistic.
And then, like, ADHD, I don't think I have it at all. Like, I
am less sure that I have ADHD, but also, it would make a lot of sense.
I have a couple friends of the same gender as me who have a diagnosed ADHD, and I do not exhibit, like, any of those traits at all.
I mean, it's more common for you to have both ADHD and autism than one or the other.
Yeah.
It's more common for you to have both of those.
It's really surprising if I do only have one.
From what you've witnessed of me, do you think I have ADHD? Be honest.
I don't know, it's hard to tell, because I can clock autism pretty well, but ADHD, especially in AFAB individuals, is harder for me to clock.
Also, because, like, whenever we were in person, we weren't doing, like, anything that was, you know, tough or, like, something that, like, it was work or anything related. It was just we were goofing off, playing video games. And even, I wasn't even spending most of the day, I was spending all the time with Cameron, because I was living at his house.
Yeah. I don't know,
but
usually the biggest stereotypical indicator I see across all genders is, like, you place down an item and it disappears.
I do have that, yeah.
Okay. I genuinely I can count on one hand how many times I've had that happen to me, which is a big reason why I don't think I have ADHD at all, because I know where I place stuff when I place it down.
It happens to me daily. I keep accidentally leaving this, I've left the oven on several times, I keep leaving the stove on.
Oh, are we ready to take the rads now?
I'm sure it'll be rad. Sympathetic person? It depends for me.
True only now. I had no sympathy as a child. I had to develop cognitive sympathy for people.
I also don't think I had sympathy as a child. I did not give a fuck about anybody.
No, that was a very much learned skill for me.
The thing is, a big part about autism is whenever you take these types of tests, often you're like, well, it depends. That's like a big thing of autism, when you're like, well, there's so many instances where I am, but there's certain instances where I'm not, so is it always for this? That's what I hear, that's the thing for autism. You're like, oh.
That's usually a huge indicator of autism.
I don't know. I don't remember much of my childhood. I just remember pain. I'll just say true only now.
I often use words and phrases for movies and television and conversations. Yeah, true, both.
How many times have I just repeated the same thing over and over and over again? I'm often surprised when others tell me I've been rude. Yes.
I would say that's only true whenever I was younger.
Really?
Because whenever I was younger, I just genuinely didn't understand what I was saying would be interpreted as rude, but now I know it will be interpreted as being rude, and sometimes I want to be rude. Sometimes I talk too loudly or softly and I am not aware of it.
Definitely true when I was younger. I've learned how to talk more normal volume, but
I still got volume regulation issues. Audio compression barely saves me on this.
Alright, I have to
Okay, you're all the odds, I'm all the evens, go.
Alright, I often don't know how to act in social situations. When I was younger, yeah.
I only really understand how to act if there's a very clear hierarchy.
I think the reason that I don't struggle with it as much is because I'm just like, fuck it. I don't care if this is how I'm supposed to act. I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want.
I can put myself in other people's shoes.
But my feet are so small.
My feet are so small.
I have a hard time figuring out what some phrases means, like, you're the apple of my eye.
I still don't know what that means. I still don't know what "you are the apple of my eye" means. What?
I
What
think it means you're like a big part. Let's look it up. Someone is deeply cherished or loved. Okay.
Okay, but how? Where does an apple come in?
It's very pretty, and you look at it, you look at the apple, and you're like, wow, it's a great apple, so you stare at it, and that's, like, the person that you stare at.
Are you making this up or reading this?
I'm making it up.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Chip off the old block, I understand. Apple of my eye. I understand contextually what it means, but I think the meaning assigned to it is bullshit. If you know what it means in the comments below, tell me, please. I don't understand. I only like to talk to people, share my special interests. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All other socialization I do is just to keep up my social cred so life is easier.
God, I had a 2-hour rant to my friend again about Volo.
Ah, hell yeah.
I think I've accumulated like 12 hours of just straight ranting.
Only 12?
Probably more, honestly. I just wanted to lowball it.
I always notice how food feels in my mouth. This is more important to me than how it tastes.
Fuck, dude, textures kill me.
That was only true whenever I was younger, I'd say.
Really? No, yeah, like I'm always so afraid to try food because textures.
No, I just learned how to overcompensate for that by eating every meal in like under 10 minutes.
I miss my best friends or family when we are apart for a long time.
I'm just gonna answer like never true. It's not never true, but I often don't miss I
mean, sometimes I miss talking to them, but I still talk to them, but we're apart.
I don't really get that weird feeling of missing something or longing for them or stuff like that. I'm just like, oh, okay, I guess we're just not talking right now, and then I just continue with life, and then I just come back to it.
Yeah, the only thing I miss is I miss Volo Pokemon.
Sometimes I offend others by saying what I am thinking, even if I don't mean to. Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. I only like to think and talk about a few things that interest me.
Guess what one of my special interests is? Let's just ignore the several copies of the DSM-5 I pirated. I'd rather go out to eat in a restaurant by myself than with someone I know. No, I just don't like eating out in restaurants. If I'm forced to go out into a restaurant, I want a social buffer, aka a friend.
That's true. Have you ever had that thought? It's just like, what if my trauma didn't happen to me? But then you're like, well, if I didn't have my trauma happen to me, would I still be where I am today? Would I still be the same person? Well, like, I kind of like my life right now, so if that didn't happen, would my life have been worse and went up in a different direction?
My trauma made this YouTube channel. I have been told that I am clumsy or uncoordinated.
I haven't been told, but I keep knocking so many things over at work.
See, I'm really clumsy, but I also have really good reflexes because of it.
Others consider me odd or different. Yeah.
Yeah. I understand when friends need to be comforted. Very seldom. I understand when they need to be comforted. I do not know how to provide the comfort.
It can be very intimidating for me to talk to more than one person at the same time. To who? Am I talking to my friends?
I'd say not true, because it's more intimidating for me to talk one-on-one with people than it is a group. I have to act normal to please other people and make them like me.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't. The thing is, I know, like, I mean, I did that when I was younger, but then, like, now I'm older, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
I still kind of do that now.
No, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, at work, I'm just like, well, it's time to act normal, time to get into my normal zone. Mm-hmm. Hi, how can I help you today? And it works, and then they find out more about me, and then they hate me.
And then they realize I'm a freak.
Meeting new people is usually easy for me. Huh? I will say this. Meeting people is easy. Becoming their friend is not.
I'm like the opposite. It's so hard for me to start talking to somebody, but then once we start, it snowballs. Like, when you think about it, that's kind of how we became friends. You were just like yapping and call, and I was silent. You know?
Now we're besties who record videos every other week.
Yeah.
Yay, yay!
Back before you were integrated into the friend group and you were just, a stan of the couch.
I wasn't a stan, okay? I just was there, okay?
Stan.
I liked them, but I didn't stan you guys. I wasn't go, oh my god, it's the Kato couch. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, it's Nathama and Kato, and who the hell is Yurie? I get highly confused when someone interrupts me when I am talking about something I am very interested in. Yeah. I get confused because of the audacity. I like having a conversation with several people, for instance, around a dinner table, at school, or at work. I like observing. I don't like participating. Hence me being silent in Discord calls.
I take things too literally, so often I miss what people are trying to say. Yep.
It is very difficult for me to understand when someone is embarrassed or jealous.
Yeah.
I'd say whenever I was younger. I've gotten better at it.
Dude, being a lesbian sucks. You don't know when people are hitting on you.
I get extremely upset when the way I like to do things suddenly changes.
Yep.
Dude, I have this very specific routine for whenever I go into work, and sometimes my brother interrupts it, and I'm just like...
I have never wanted or needed to have what other people call an intimate relationship. I'll say true now. I don't need it. I'm just curious. I'm a curious little monkey.
I don't know, I like them. It is difficult for me to start and stop a conversation. I need to keep going until I am finished. Hell yeah.
Yes. You do not stop. You do not stop the Volo train when it's chugga chugga chugga. I speak with a normal rhythm. I do not think so.
I am told I do not.
I am very sure that I do not, because the way things come out of my mouth, I know is wrong.
Whenever I listen back to the recordings, you're closer to normal than I am.
Oh no, I'm closer. But like,
shut up. Oh no, Yurie, I know you suck ass, but no. The same sound, color, or texture can suddenly change from very sensitive to very dull.
I don't. Sounds yes.
I've never had that happen unless I'm having a migraine, in which I think is outside of this question's parameters.
The phrase "I've got you under my skin" makes me uncomfortable. It did make me comfortable reading that.
Yeah. I've got you under my skin. What does that even mean?
I cannot tell when somebody is flirting with me.
Yeah.
I literally just fucking mentioned it.
Yeah. I can see in my mind in exact detail things I am interested in.
Rotate the apple, rotate the apple, I'm rotating an apple!
Aphantasia, bitch!
I like to talk things over with my friends. Like what?
Like talking about Volo?
Like talking about Volo? Then like, yeah, that'd be easy.
Would our conversation about inner monologues count? That we had the other day?
Well, that's just a debate, or with the thoughts. I don't know! What the fuck does that question mean? It can be very hard to read someone's face, hand, and body movements when they are talking. When I was younger, yeah.
I feel like I understand the hand and body movements, but I don't understand the face.
Yeah,
So,
I understand the face, not the body movements.
Oh my god, if we combine our abilities together...
We can be the perfect autistic!
Oh, we can do the perfect mask! I try to be as helpful as I can when other people tell me their personal problems.
Yeah, I'll say
Yeah?
true now. I try to be helpful, but I'm not good at it.
I can give you solutions to problems, but if you're looking for emotional support, then I will try my best.
Yeah.
But there is no guarantee that you will not be more upset than you were when you started talking to me.
I have been told I have an unusual voice. For example, flat monotone, tried ultra high pitched. I have, yeah. A lot of the times. You definitely have. What, no?
I was going to
You
say
really
not
were talking about.
No, let me finish. I was going to say not me imagining every time people have told me like you talk kind of flat, and I'm just like, what?
The amount of comments you've gotten.
I tried to put emotion in my voice and I just can't.
Yeah, we pretty much are like autistic opposites. We are the separate ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. Sometimes a thought or a subject gets stuck in my head. I have to talk about it even if no one is interested. Yeah, boy. I have never been interested in what most of the people I know consider interesting.
If you ever talk Marvel or Harry Potter to me, I'll blow you up with my mind.
Hey, that's why I'm talking DC, baby.
I am considered a compassionate type of person. I think I am.
I don't think compassionate is like in the top 5 things people think about when they list traits for me.
It is very difficult for me to work and function in groups. I am good at talking to people. I do not work with people.
Yes.
I can talk your ear off, but I will never work with you. I work alone.
That's nice, Kuri. When I am talking to someone, it is hard to change the subject. If the other person does so, I can get very upset and confused.
What if I change if someone else changes the topic, it sucks. But if I change the topic every 3 minutes, it's fine.
I can chat and make small talk with people.
True now. I could do that now.
I am physically capable of it. Am I willing to? No.
Sometimes things that should feel painful are not. For instance, when I hurt myself, I get hurt more. I hurt more.
Not me sticking my hand on a pot, it burning, pulling it off, sticking my hand on again just to make sure if it actually burned me. When talking to someone, I have a hard time telling when it is my turn to talk or to listen.
I always have the talking stick. I always hold the talking stick. I don't let it go.
I usually speak in a normal tone. This is just a rehash of the question we answered earlier.
Most of these are rehashes. That's what all personality tests are in this world.
Part of getting diagnosed with autism is the pattern recognition you bringing up to the to the person of just like, hey, I already answered this in a different font. How to make friends and socialize is a mystery to me. Yeah. I'll be honest, I don't know how I became friends with anybody in our friend group. I was just there, and then at some point, y'all started calling me a friend, and I'm like, alright, this is what we're doing now.
Well, mine's easy because mine was a big origin story.
I think literally all of the friends I have in my life just approached me, started talking to me, and I just
I didn't walk away.
Was there. Once someone talks at you enough, it like raises their like affection bar.
Yeah.
It just levels up to friend. I'm like, okay, this is where we're at now. I can tell when someone says one thing but means something else.
No.
Like a metaphor? I can sometimes, but other times I can't. I don't understand sarcasm, I'm putting never. I keep my thoughts stacked in my memory like they are on filing cards, and I pick out the ones I need by looking through the stack and finding the right one, or another unique way. Yeah?
No, because all my memory is all, like, there is a file cabinet, but all the files are on the floor, in like a hoarder heap, and I'm just like, oh, it's not worth it to go through that.
I sit there, and for like 20 minutes a day, I'll just stare off at nothing, and I'll reorganize the thoughts and information I've taken in that day. And like sort them in my brain. And like, I can't physically feel it, but I can physically feel it, you know?
I do not like being hugged or held. Yes. Dude, literally my best friend that I've had since 2nd grade, the first time we hugged was like a year ago because I was just like, man, I don't think we've ever hugged before. And then we did it, and then we both hated it.
I don't particularly mind it now, but I definitely was adverse to it when I was little.
When I go somewhere, I have to follow a familiar route, or I can get very confused and upset. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my god.
People tell me that I give too much detail. I don't know, I either give you way too much detail, or...
one word.
Yeah.
I sometimes send you the most ominous fucking shit.
And I'm just like, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Oh, we're done. We're almost done.
I tend to point out other people's mistakes, not you saying that earlier.
All of these questions is shit that I bring up earlier in the quiz.
Pattern recognition, ha ha ha. Are you ready to score?
I'm ready. Who's the autistic? You're definitely more autistic. Da 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 da! Oh my god! Oh,
you're autistic!
I'm more autistic! Let's go!
I suck at language more than you in circumscribed interests, but you are in sensory hell.
What do the scores mean? You are not autistic. Very strong evidence for so we're both very strong evidence for autism.
Yeah. Yeah.
The maximum possible rad score. Wow.
Wow.
How is your interest bigger than my interest? That seems fucked up.
I think because your voice is more expressive, on the outside you come out as slightly less autistic.
Yeah, that's true. You have to get to know me to know.
Yeah. With me, people usually clock there's something off about me, but in my area, most people are just like, oh, it's probably just, like, I don't know, the Asian.
With me, people, like, at first glance, they're like, okay, yeah, you're just a normal person, and then, it's like Jerma, you start watching him, he's like, why do people think this guy's weird? And then you watch him more, and like, oh my god, this guy's a freak.
Now I have a second test.
Alright, autism spectrum test.
Yeah, all of our questions are randomized, so I guess we just spam through it. I usually feel unhappy more days than not.
People told me I could be obsessed about my interests. I have a tendency to yell at people when I feel frustrated or stressed. It's either I yell at people or I just go completely silent.
I sometimes have compulsive thoughts about being injured or having other bad things happen to me in extremely specific way.
Oh no.
I mean, ain't that just normal? The little dude in your head is just like, hey.
No. It happens to me, but I don't think that's normal.
I get obsessed with strings of numbers, such as dates or license plates. Yeah. I love them.
I rarely experience happiness. I don't think this is an autism thing.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Well, the thing is, I don't get stressed about eye contact anymore because I've had it done just so long. But then I stare at people too long. That's the thing. I stare at people way too long.
I enjoy parties.
As a child, I put most of the pressure on the front of my feet when walking. I didn't know that was a specific thing. I did that all the time.
This dude's just learning about the Tesum toe walk. When watching movies, I do not usually look at the eyes of the actors. You're supposed to be looking at the actor's eyes. I have certain routines or habits that I feel I must follow, yeah. Like, have I ever told you about I lock my car door twice, right? I make sure that the beep goes off twice. The first time is to lock it. The second time is because if I don't, the voice in my head will tell me the car battery will explode.
What? I just do it because, like, what if I didn't actually lock it?
Nah, the voice in my head is just like, if you don't lock it twice, the battery will explode. It's gonna...
I feel unhappy more days than not, yeah. But I think that's just depression. Alright, you ready?
Yep.
How autistic are we? Okay, so what's your biggest thing? What's... you
poor
have
eye contact.
We both have pretty good levels of fixation. Tics and fidgets, mine's really high. Abnormal posture. So, we got the same amount of anxiety. I got.
You're more aggressive than I am.
I think I am more aggressive than
have more noise sensitivity than you. I'm more socially deficit than you.
Well, yeah.
What does that mean?
You have more fixations than me, which is kind of fucked up, I think. But
well, that's how I steer away the depression. I just think about Robin from Batman. Though, honestly, that depression bar might tick up soon, because it's looking like they're trying to murder a Robin, and they might murder my favorite Robin, and I'm getting upset.
Oh, this is about to go up to here, because I'm about to visit my dad.
And what if the aggression goes up instead?
I like these videos here. I like taking quizzes.
Hey.
What's next? What's next?
We're gonna see how much ADHD we got.
Let's go! Alright, this test people go to this page so often because so many times on TikTok people are like, you have ADHD!
Oh yeah, by the way, this can't diagnose you. If you think it can, you're stupid.
This is a fun video. But also, if I'm more ADHD than you, I'm gonna kill your ass.
Once I start something, I see it through to completion, usually.
I have problems remembering appointments, and I have an appointment tomorrow. I hope I remember it.
I remembered this, so I say no.
I rarely lose or misplace things. Disagree.
I have difficulty attending to details and are often making careless mistakes. I'd say no. I find myself blurting out answers or finishing other people's sentences. I do in my head, but I've learned not to out loud.
I think this has happened in the call where I did that to you. When you're like, let me finish!
Alright. 3, 2, 1. Holy fuck!
Oh no!
So, I think I think we can say that I don't.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's fair to say it is possible. I have ADHD.
I don't know,
Oh
man.
my god.
I don't think that's quite high enough for you to have ADHD.
That is a comically large gap between
Disparity.
us.
The likelihood of you having ADHD is low, indicating that you exhibit few of the symptoms of ADHD in adults on the subscales of hyperactivity, impulsivity, and inattention. While you may experience episodes of inattention, hyperactivity, or impulsivity, these things do not appear to a degree that would significantly interfere with daily functioning or personal relationships in your life, and likely do not require intervention. AKA, I'm just a normal person that sometimes gets impulsive.
Your personal ADHD risk level is high, indicating that you demonstrate most signs and symptoms of ADHD in adults regarding persistent attention and/or hyperactivity and impulsivity. You may have noticed that many of these signs and symptoms began early in childhood. These symptoms may be causing significant disruption to your school and work productivity, your social activities, and your personal relationships. If left undiagnosed and untreated, adults with ADHD are also at risk for other psychological conditions such as depression and anxiety. You may wish to consult your physician or a mental health professional for further assessment. Man.
I like how my inattention is like nothing. I can lock in
you
and
are
get
attentive.
it done. I figured my inattention would be really low and it would be in my hyperactivity, impulsiveness. But I just didn't expect it to be that low.
I didn't expect mine to be this high.
Alright, now we're going to do the spectrum of it.
The spectrum, let's go! Alright, now that I have got confirmed that I am truly ADHD, now that I had this doctor website told me I have ADHD, then
now that you are officially diagnosed.
Now that I'm officially diagnosed.
We're going to see what medication you need to take.
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, I finish it. Yep, buddy. I used to get sidetracked. Yep.
Nope. My thoughts and feelings often get in the way of me being successful at school or work. Nope. Compartmentalized. When I was a kid, I often ran about in situations where it was inappropriate. What? I guess not, no. I easily become verbally or physically aggressive when I'm angry. I want to, but I try not to. I'll just stay neutral.
People expect me to know or understand things that seem strange or nonsensical to me, yeah.
As a child, I had difficulty learning how to button my clothes and or tie my shoelaces. I had Velcro until I was like 14.
I wanted the Velcro shoes so bad! I think a task was too hard or confusing for me to handle. I often give up. Yeah. Others have told me I talk excessively. Yes.
You can never talk about Volo too much, Kuri. I don't know what they're saying.
I know. I just interrupt them while they're saying that. I just talk more about Volo Pokemon. I often lose things such as my wallet, keys, phone, important documents, and the like all the time. I often jump from. Do you fucking guys know how many hobbies I have? I have so many hobbies. And I have so many hobbies because I'm just like, whoa, I'm doing too much of this hobby. I'm gonna stop doing this when I almost am finished, so that I can do another hobby.
Others have been surprised or shocked because of my unpredictable actions. Me when my family found out I had a YouTube channel.
Yes.
I have days where almost everything gets on my nerves, yeah. Yeah.
Frequently unable to. Man, I'm doing strongly agree for a lot of these. I tend to become overly excited, but I think that's the mania.
That's the bipolar talking.
That's the bipolar seeping in.
As a child, my parents and our teachers were concerned at which the pace I learned to speak. They weren't concerned with me speaking, but with me reading and writing. They were really concerned because I, for the longest time, just wouldn't actively engage in it because I found it boring, but nobody told me I was supposed to be doing it.
I think these bars are gonna be really high.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh, concerning. Interesting. Yeah, you remember a lot of things, Yurie. I'm very proud of you for that.
Oh, thank you. My ADHD symptoms are moderate, according to this.
Moderate? Those are low. Come on, man.
Yours say very high.
Yeah, I know. I can read. Maybe I should get checked out.
See, but like all of the ADHD stuff that you see that I'm marked up in is also highly attributed to autism.
That's true. That is true. And also depression, too.
Yeah. But, like, where ADHD seems to really strike is the impulsivity and attention and forgetfulness and hyperactivity. Because those other three on the bottom left can all be attributed to autism. So, my ADHD symptoms are only moderate because of the autism and, like, the overlapping symptoms.
But fuck, those are some pretty full bars. Like, I was talking to you about this, but I literally had to, I had to force myself to have an hour in a day where I do nothing.
Yeah,
I had to force myself to do that. Horizontal time, yeah. And cause if I didn't do, cause like, I was always just constantly going. I was like, no stop, always do things. And I had to force myself to have an hour to relax.
I wonder how many of these symptoms are exacerbated because of bipolar.
True.
Because, like, the hyperactivity seems like, and impulsivity seems like it could be bipolar.
Yeah, but, I mean, I don't know who, I could have the trifecta, most likely. But man, those are pretty full bars.
I'm wondering how my developmental delay got so high up.
You are an elephant, Yurie. You will never forget a thing.
Except for what I do.
Except for when you do. But that's not ADHD, that's just your stupid brain.
Yeah, that's just me running on no sleep.
Like, it's considering that the lowest bar is 1, 2, 3.5. Man, what a discovery. Ooh.
So you might, if you visit your psychiatrist, you might want to bring this up. Be like, hey, I did this thing for fun. And...
So, who wins? ADHD versus autism? Who wins?
I think you win, because you're more likely to have both.
I am both. I am the king of ADHD. I'm the king of autism. Guys, if you want to get diagnosed, go to these websites.
Link down below. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but if you did sponsor us, we would kiss you on the mouth.
You could do that. I'm not.